I'm going to try to memorize a whole deck of cards as quickly as possible in just 1 week. But firstly, I have to figure out how I'm going to memorize all of this. The problem is that if we memorize each card as is, it's pretty hard to do so because it's not super memorable. It's just a bunch of random symbols and numbers. So you have to use special techniques to make it more memorable. Take for instance the 9 of clubs. If you flip the 9 this way, it looks like a P, and then the first letter of clubs is a C. So you could think of a PC instead of this card. This is great because a PC is something that you can touch, feel, and wait, touch and feel is the same thing, and see, making it a lot more memorable than just a bunch of symbols and numbers. Also, I don't know why, but when I think of a PC, I actually think of a 20-year-old eMac from back in my primary school days. I don't know why. I don't even use Apple. The problem though is that you have to do it for 52 different cards. And I have to memorize 52 different images. And so we need to use the memory palace technique. And while memory palace sounds super fancy and royal, I can assure you it's like really simple. So let's say I had these 3 cards that I wanted to memorize. So starting out, we have 2 of spades. So 2, if you turn it to its side, it kind of looks like an N, obviously. And then spades is like an S, so NS. So over on this chair here, I can picture there being a nest perhaps, in this first location. And then if you go through this is definitely a palace. Look at this majestic ass room. The second one, location, maybe just on this PC that I'm using to record this very video. So the second card in the sequence is an 8 of hearts. So maybe I could think of an F for this, because if you cut it out a bit, it looks like an F, obviously. And then for hearts, first letter is H, so maybe FH. Not super obvious at first, but you could think of a fish. So maybe there's like a fish just like this chilling in this laptop, which I'm using to record this video right now. Here we have curtain, so I might just have the next image, which you might remember. We'll have the eMac, not even an iMac, it's an eMac just floating, I guess, around the curtain. So if we have those 3 as like the locations, then that's kind of how it would work. There's just one problem though. That only covers 3 cards, and I've already used like maybe half of this room, and I have all of this left to memorize and turn into images that I have to stash around my house, and that's quite a lot. And so I need to upgrade my method to using something called the PAO, or Person Action Object. So going back to our chair, the first card is 2 of spades. So instead of thinking of a nest, I might think of a person. So maybe Ness from Earthbound is just like sitting on the chair. And the next one is 8 of hearts. He's like fishing for something. So Ness is like fishing. And then 9 of clubs is PC, so Ness is fishing for the eMac somewhere down there. And this way, I can put 3 images kind of like in one image in one location, so it's a lot more efficient. So anyhow, I got to work, creating a person, action, and object for every single card. I have no idea how to shuffle cards properly. With a world-class memorization system in place, I got to work. Anyway, I started off with 6 cards, just so I could get used to the PAO system. I'm also using an online program called Memory League to do this, since it was easier to set up. And somehow, even just with 6 cards, I still recalled one of them incorrectly. Are you kidding me? But after some more practice and getting the hang of it, I did manage to succeed and gradually work my way up to doing 8 cards, 16, 25, and then the full deck of 52 cards. Now I put off doing the full deck for a while because I found it really intimidating. I mean, it's an entire deck. But somehow I managed to get everything right in 9 minutes and 36 seconds. Just under the 10-minute mark. Okay, that was abysmally long, but first success. I quickly followed this up with an 8-minute success. Okay, wow. But then I started running into some trouble. So my goal was to break through 5 minutes or 300 seconds, so I knew I had to memorize the cards faster. So instead of looking at each card 4 times like at the very beginning, I tried to do it only twice. But I started finding it much harder to recall my memorization, and I had way too many cards I couldn't remember at the end. Sometimes it felt like I was getting worse. Yeah, no, it's not sticking. So then I thought, how about I play it safe and look at each card 3 times instead of just 2? Just so I can get another success in the bag. This turned out a lot faster than I expected because after all of those failures, I got much quicker at doing PAO. And so I switched back to looking at each card only twice for the next attempt. This attempt felt really shaky because at the end of recalling, there were still around 10 cards that I wasn't entirely sure about. But then I realized I could just trial and error each remaining card for each remaining position, which let me recover and succeed, crushing through the 5-minute barrier with a time of 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, wow. Surprised I still got that. I had to guess like 10 things at the end. Well, kind of guess.